Russia has warned NATO against sending troops to Ukraine, saying that such a move would be extremely dangerous. This came as Moscow said it was closely watching a Ukrainian petition posted on the Ukrainian president's website that said Kiev should ask the US, the UK and other countries to send troops to help repel Russia's invasion. NATO has provided weapons to Ukraine so far, but has ruled out sending troops on the ground. Saying that it was seeing growing numbers of French nationals among those killed in Ukraine, Russia declared that it would target French soldiers if they enter this conflict.
It is notable that Macron himself explains this rhetoric as a desire to create some kind of strategic uncertainty for Russia. We have to disappoint him. For us, the situation looks more than certain. We have also made up our minds a long time ago. If the French appear in the conflict zone, they will inevitably become targets for Russian armed forces.
And for more on this story, DD India's Dasha Chernishova sent us this report from Moscow.
Moscow is closely watching any development with regard to the possible sending of the NATO countries' troops to Ukraine. The Kremlin has said that it is an extremely dangerous escalation of the situation. It carries potentially enormous risks for the entire security architecture in Europe, and Moscow will obviously be following those developments in order to provide the timely response. Moscow is also saying that the statements that have been emerging recently from the European politicians are coming from the high-ranking politicians, including the French President Emmanuel Macron and the British Foreign Secretary David Cameron, about the possibility of using the UK-supplied weapons to Ukraine against the targets inside Russia. Against the backdrop of these statements, Moscow is reminding that it has been forced to start the drills of the tactical nuclear weapons in order to, what it calls, to cool down the hot heads of the European politicians. So the Russian Foreign Ministry spokesperson Maria Zakharova on Wednesday said that Russia will consider any French troops, if they are sent to Ukraine, as the legitimate target. Having said that, she reminds and suggests that the French people are not really happy and have not been consulted on the possibility of their compatriots being sent to Ukraine. Moscow is also saying that it is not in order to create the sort of strategic uncertainty for Russia, as France is saying it is, but it is to create the uncertainty for the French people. So certainly Moscow is watching closely all of those statements, and the timely response will be provided should that come true.